here, take that, because that is a fortification as well. As you can see here, it has a fortification level. If you want to take that with the 8k army, and then the 2k army over here from Magna, you can move over here, and just wait a little bit and then move it past here, sometimes. It depends how they actually react. If they actually consolidate their forces, they can take you down, but most of the time they will not be able to do so in time. Anyway, let's go, just give it a few more ticks, wait probably until the end of the month. Ah, there we go. Oh, species of Jupiter. To ensure support for war, an official species from Jupiter Optimus Maximus, the patron of good faith and greatest of the gods, is recommended by the Fatials. Assurance of victory will hearten the soldier and buoy the people's enthusiasm. While there's no doubt that Roma will be granted for favorable auguries, it would not blend well if the priests return with an inconclusive or, Jove forbid, pessimistic result. Now, this is basically a trigger chance event, which will always happen at this time. At the moment your army start marching for like a few days, you will want them to. This event will pop up. I'm not 100% sure. Is it always in 19th of May, or is it when the armies march? I'm pretty damn sure it was when the army marched. Anyway, you have three options. You can either give him money, because the starting augur will not have any of these traits like pious, devout, or righteous. You can give him like 7 gold, and he gains some corruption, and he gains some loyalty, and the chance that he comes back with a favorable omen is bigger. You could say it's not worth the risk, and you lose some popularity, some loyalty, and some. There is a chance for a second event to backfire against you and give you a negative buff. And then there's this event, which is basically just you gain some political influence, and he gains some loyalty, and you say, hey, whatever Jupiter says it is. Done with it. Now, remember, we want to go technology-wise through the where we are there, through the oratory stuff. I mean, yes, we used our initial innovations, but it will be quite a while until we reach this. Yes, but then again, by the time we reach this next level, which is gonna be in a good 14 years, very nice. It'll I'm having a problem with English right now, like, it's not coming off my lips easily. Anyway, as you can see, it'll be a while, but by that time we will have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. By that time, hopefully our consul will be somebody more favorable, because he's like 50, he has good stats. The starting consul always has pretty good stats, and the next one I'll learn most likely won't. But anyway, we'll look into that when it happens, because right now it looks like it's gonna be Publius Cornelius Barbatus. Yep, looks like he's gonna be the next one. Nice. Pretty good. Anyway, we're gonna go and just say we lay our faith in Jupiter. And there he is. Imperative auguries were conducted on the Capitol Inn on the first clean morning. After a tense wait, Consul Publius receives an inscrutable chief augur, Publius Cornelius Avina, in the Comitium. Publius slowly steps forward and raises his palms to hush the frowning crowd. In this case, it is this Publius. It's very confusing when 2 Publius are mentioned in the same chat, because you're always not sure which one is meant. But if the name is like in this big bold black letters, you will always be able to hover over it and see exactly who is meant. With some reticence, he finally bellows, ambitious. The smiles of the crowd dissolve the word, and then angry grimaces as the silence is replaced by heated murmurings. Consul and Publius hides their face in their hands, while Publius maintains a visage of solemn gravity. If I remember correctly, actually from my previous runs, it is always the same outcome if you choose that. But we need the political influence, so I will take that and lose some popularity, which you can gain back. Because it can actually become worse than that. Yeah. There we go. Let's give it a little bit more. There's some low food supply over here. Great. Sounds great, I know. Surrounded by vultures, we bring urgent news. Lucius Papirius Cursor, the Perfectus Militatis. Brings urgent news. Picentia and Umbria plotting the demise of Rome. Yeah, this is basically a way for you to say, hey, I want all of this stuff. And they will be like, yep, sure. What we can actually think of here is very interesting. Now, Picentia and Umbria, we have claims against, according to our diplomacy. Right? Umbria, we have claims, yes. We don't. My apologies. We don't have claims against Picentia, which is fine, because they are... Los. My apologies again. I'm having a bad time with my stomach right now. Anyway, it'll be fine. Picentia and Sabinia are in this big, heavy anti-Rome faction, the defensive leech. So we don't actually need a reason to go to war with them. We can just declare war on Umbria, pull in those two, and take all the territory. So we don't need to go for this. No. At the same time, we don't actually want to technically go for this one because it is not that the best option as it goes. Populist and Bruno Silvers loses popularity, he loses loyalty, which is fine. They gain opinion and he gains popularity. We're gonna go for this one even though we will get some aggressive expansion, but by the time this war is over, this will hopefully be mostly gone, because we will get about 15-ish from that war. Rome will not be covered. Okay, let us go to the tick of the next month. There we go. Yeah. First war, how do you do this? So you choose a country you want to go to war against, and then you can just simply go declare war, of course. Now always check who they're at war with, and if you're exporting any kind of stuff. Picentia and Zbinia. Those three. All together. All unhappy. Now this one is very interesting, because normally you actually have them in your position. Just weird. I really hope they're gonna either get gobbled up by them, which should happen technically, because they have a pretty good ally up to the north, which could bring them into that war and make them victorious. So we're just gonna keep an eye on it, but I wanna go against Umbria now. Declare war. Now, always keep an eye on this pack, this part here. Not the text actually, which is just an explanation of what declaring war means, but, well, we all know what that means. Go smack them, or get smacked yourself. Now sometimes there's like a penalty written here, and if you declare war against a country which you do not have a claim against, or better casus belli, you will lose a rather big amount of stability. And remember, you want to get all the stability you can get in the very beginning. Every option which gives you stability, you want to take that option, because you need about 70 to 80 stability in the best case in order to be able to make that big force the secession laws upon Rome. Unless you're like a little bit of a guy who loves tough challenges, you don't want to take that big rebellion, because if half of your empire goes against you, you need to be very lucky in the wars, and you need to be very careful in the wars you choose to be able to win that war. Otherwise, believe me, I don't know, straight out plunk you. Anyway, you can just take some. These are basically provinces, so you can either choose it by province, but it's not that important because if you go to war and take them on, you just take them on. Anyway, the reason to choose this is basically it becomes the war goal. If you have all of Pecanium claimed, you will get tick in war score. Like it's 1% or something, or 1 point of war score per month extra or something. I haven't ever figured it out really. It'll probably stand somewhere and I've never read it, but anyway. If you hold this war goal, you will get extra war score. Okay. Declare war, using war goal. Declaring war and country of the same rank or higher, Rome gains 5 approval from populars. You can still cancel it here. Or you can confirm it. Confirm. Then there's always a little bit of lag. And you have this. No, there will always be this to remind you, hey, there's a war going on. Just in case you log off and are like, I'm going to do something else. No, don't do something else. So let us look at this one here real fast. War goal, the defender still controls it, so it will not gain any points. It's the morale of them. If you start losing battles, your morale will go down and you will suffer some penalties. If you start winning battles, their morale will go down and they will suffer the penalties. And with time, they will want peace very badly. Now, you cannot see what they offer in terms of what they have. Not offer, what they have in terms of war score. You cannot see that. It is not possible. Now, you don't want to see for peace. I'm just gonna go in. You go there, you just stay, and you go there. Yeah. It seems Publius Cornelius Barbatus has gotten his hands on a lot of wells, as he has started investing a great deal of silver to building a reputation for himself lately. So it is unclear exactly where he found these riches. His efforts are surprisingly effective. With his increased popularity, Publius has started vying for a more powerful position in Rome and shamelessly comparing himself to our consul Publius Sempronius Sophus. This is kind of like a little bit of a foreshadowing, I guess. It is a very reoccurring event. Now, if you compare the names, you will see that our actual candidate for the next consul is him. Now, of course, he will become the consul if once our legislation period is over. Unless, of course, the other guy, well, you are the researcher, 70 years old. Oh god. No, we don't want to have a 70-year-old guy. He may die, and then we have this random chap here. Most likely as our actual ruler then. So, it seems he's gotten his hands on a lot of silver, yes. Quite on time, hopefully. This is basically you lose some stuff, he loses loyalty. And gains popularity, corruption, and some small bits of wealth, but at this point 817 gold is quite a lot. Now you can say it hand to share with the rest of us, Publius, but it will gain your tyranny. You gain a little bit of gold. I mean, later on it will be more because they sometimes have like 5,000 gold, which is a little bit if you ask them to share. I think I've gotten 1,000 gold straight out of another guy's pocket once, but well, at that point I had like what was it, almost 10,000 gold in the bank, because I had nothing to spend it on, because I was locked in the position of what was it? Yeah, I had a really big amount of aggressive expansion. Now, this one you technically don't want to do because it loses a lot of loyalty. So just use this one. The little bit of popularity loss is okay, there's worse, and we'll be able to do something about it. Anyway, this is not good, because there's a river, apparently. No. What is that symbol? Anyway. Now you can split that in half again, but as you saw a second ago, they had quite a bit of a chonkers there. Now they will not attack you, you will not attack them. It's as simple really, but the main issue you will have is... Oh, there's a chunk. Ooh, that was not so smart of me. My apologies there. Okay, this may have been the first lost battle of the war, but let's see what we can do about that. Yeah, this is the end of the event. It's over. A thing of warfare and a man at war. The efforts of our more belligerent senators have succeeded in preserving the majority of the Curia, and even the people of Rome that Italy is ours. The campus Meritus is alive with the cries of our confident soldiers, and fresh haruspices reinforce the god's assent for war each day. The end of the recent conflict with our enemies in Etruria and Semnium has left the Republic as the strongest power on the Italian peninsula. Our victory has firmly convinced our feudatories in the value of supporting our cause and has shown other small states the value of being on our side. Roman settlers are now moving on their own accord into the regions to our north and east, establishing new colonies, expecting our protection. All look to us, from Samnium and Etruria to Sicily and Carthage, awaiting our next move. A thing of warfare and a man at war. Now this is basically this event here being gone. Oh, all of this now takes time. You need to take out everybody basically. In the end you will have the Italian colonial, which is all of this. Very nice, but hey, yeah, I did just waste it because my allies didn't wanna join us. And I know kinda wasting themselves in here, but anyway. It was a shame. But it's okay, I expected that. This was definitely not going the same way it was before, where I just went through, pummeled them into the ground and annihilated them. Yeah, there's this, yeah, I see. The Greeks, Massilia, to be exact, have started an expedition. This expedition will be led by someone you could describe as Odysseus, basically. You will see pop-ups with expeditionary stuff coming up soon. There will be somebody who has some pretty decent stats who will offer you to buy or gain treasures for your religious temples. And that somebody will keep on returning if you let him go. And depending which options you choose, with time he will gain some very interesting traits. And if you recruit him, he will end his expeditions and he will be no more. He will be part of your court as it is, as a minor noble. And you will have to either give him a citizen right and adopt him and stuff to make him anything important. Like you could actually make him like your ruler at some point, but you would have to be very fast. Because the way the succession works is kind of weird, so adoption doesn't always work the way it should. Anyway, he will most likely be of wonderful use as a researcher. Because as a researcher, he will have a lot of power. Yeah, let them chase their delusions. Wonderful. Plus even more. Yeah, this is basically when you take a city. In this case, this city. You get an event for the major cities and the capitals. Like this is a capital, this symbol. This means it's the well, it's not really it's the capital of a province. This symbol means it's the capital of the state. So this is the capital of the province Picenium. This is the capital of Umbria. You see? Anyway, when you siege, most likely state capitals and sometimes even the cities, or sometimes cities like Syracuse. Over here one city, Carthage, and some big cities over in Greece. If you take them, you will have special events. Especially Carthage, because Carthago de Länder es, you know it, most likely. Now you can choose between 3 options. Let the looting be gentle, you gain some popularity and you gain some gold. Let the man roam freely, you gain gold. You get a loyal cohort to the person who is your ruler. If you are in fact a dictator or emperor, choosing that option isn't really a bad choice, because there's a reason. Like, loyal cohorts will not join in a war or civil war against you. They will always stay on your side. That's good, but you need to always be careful, because if someone else is the leader of that army, which will most likely be the case, because later you will most likely use your legions and not your conscripts. Besides of the conscript of Italia, which your leader will rule, which is not that bad, but he can die in battle. So it's always a consideration between good and bad there. Anyway, you have that option. You get some more gold, some tribesmen or pops will be killed and you get the popularity, or none shall hide. You gain a lot of gold, you gain cruel, which is okay-ish, but you will gain tyranny and you will lose charisma. And 3 levies of Roma will become loyal instead of 2. Or is it? No, actually only 1 levy, and then here it's 3 levies. And there's gonna be 4 pops killed and you will gain some popularity. Later there's gonna be some different choices, like sometimes when it's bigger cities, you will have a constant modifier for about 4 to 5, sometimes even more years on the city, which will basically reduce the happiness of the populace, because they were plundered. So I will generally always choose this option, because it is the generally best option as it is. I gotta get this back, get the people back over here, and prepare for war. Really? That good? I'm just gonna go over here and take them off that way. Take them off one by one. They're really annoying me now. Huh. Our heralds bring troubling news from the proud nation of Carthage. After a brief period of instability, hitherto toothless governmental faction seized power in the Carthaginian Adirium, making a mockery of the proud democratic heritage of that nation. Our loyal advisors recommend that we dispatch an envoy to issue a sharp rebuke at this troubling state of affairs, lest those wizened misers seated in gilded thrones take it into their mind to placate their people with misguided conquests, upsetting the delicate balance of power in our region. You can make them unhappy. Even more unhappy than they already are. Like, they basically had a change of ruler. They had a different ruler a few seconds ago, and now they have a new ruler. And that new ruler is basically an independent political party, which is a bit of a weird guy. You can either gain popularity and make them a little bit unhappy, or you can just leave it like it is and pray that nothing happens. Now, since they are already unhappy, I don't think it's not gonna be a big choice here to do this. And it's gonna get better anyway. We'll be fine. Yeah. They got away, it's fine. We're gonna just get in there now. I hope. This is really confusing me. Like, normally this doesn't work this way, but I guess it's the way it goes. Thankfully, if they want to counter siege us, they will have to prepare something there. Now, can we get in there and just take him on? It is unclear which side will win. We're just gonna go in, we should have more men, we should be able to beat them. Yes. We will be able to beat them. Thankfully. I ate. If they start losing stuff. No, we lost 2.7k troops, they lost 4.5k. It's doable. It's not great, but anyway. Yeah, well, I would love to be able to combine those, but they will always be separate because there's in separate cities as it is. Could you like go there, please? Instead, just take them out. Now, you notice their morale is really low, and it won't be able to regenerate very quickly anyway. Now, okay. Now you will slowly be able to start taking them out. Now, they asked for peace already. Nope, thank you. I like you and all, but nope, ain't gonna happen. Thank you though. Now, yeah, we just lost something here, I'm not quite sure what. It said stone, but we have stone. Unless you just start producing them and are not taking more than we need. No, we seem to be fine. It's weird. It's very weird. Because it is so confusing sometimes to trade. Like, is it that they all hate me or something? That they're all like, nope. Or just they haven't all created enough possibilities in terms of trade to make it happen. Is this like over-tuning? I really wonder about this sometimes. Like, if the sound is kind of loud or different, or there's any kind of problems you notice, just tell me, okay? I can still change stuff here interactively in OBS as I record, because it shows me like decent size quality sound, but sometimes it seems to be quite red, so I'm not sure if I'm over-tuning it or not. Anyway, let's continue here. We're in about a good hour now. Nice. It's gonna definitely be two to three parts now, but you'll get used to it. Don't worry about it. And fish is actually a very good point. We're gonna take some fish from Cartesian's circus. Good. Let's go. Yeah, we had a little bit of a run in there, but it's gonna be an interesting one here. You see, they lost 1.3 out of 1.3 because they had no morale. They literally stood there at the last possible running point with no morale left, so they got instantly wiped out. Oh, they actually got some mercenaries, as you can see there. So I hate it when they do that. Now they're just gonna take one thing back, which is not important. I can just get up there and run after them, take them out before they can do much about it. They want peace again. Nice. This event will come up every now and then. It's because this area is so in war and has so many shrines everywhere. They all second each other's shrines. Now, it doesn't really matter what you do here. You can just make them unhappy with you, which is, I guess, fine. We will remember that crime. The Pontium has claim on the province of Puglia. That's weird. The Pontum. Isn't it like some allied faction to us actually? Probably didn't update it yet. Seems like it. That's always a little bit confusing. Like, I have no problem with you guys, like, claiming stuff, but... Because I'm gonna take you out eventually anyway, but... What you're doing is still not nice. It would be worth if Carthage had a reason to go to war. I mean, they will have one reason, which is basically... reduce our power. Which is always a possibility. You just go to war for nothing but taking out armies. It's a little bit weird maybe, but no. I wanna just give them the independent operations order. Which is basically you give them AI control and they can do whatever the duck they want.